All right, I'm Matt Landis, and we're here to take a look at the Snom Mini, which just a first impression review of the Snom Mini. The Snom Mini is a tiny, or just a small, hardware-based PBX based on the software Snom 1 PBX, IP PBX. So we're just taking a look at it. I already pulled that out of the box. The box here it came in a brown box. I don't know if that's just the first set of units, but and what do we have in the box? Looks like the first thing we have here is a little manual. They also send you a Cat 5 cable and a power cable. Now, what is kind of interesting, I'll just set this to the side. What is kind of interesting about this little unit is that it can be powered by PoE, and that's exactly how we have ours powered here. So interesting little device. It's takes very low power requirements. It's a 1.4 gigahertz ARM processor, and Snom says they are saying something like 60 kilowatt hours per year to run this little device. It is perfectly quiet. There's no fans. It's just quiet. When I feel it, it's slightly warm. It looks like I don't know if you call that a vent. Or maybe it's just a grill looking. And as you turn it there, you'll notice there's blue light shining out of there. I don't know if there's some exotic something that's going to happen in the future, but there it is. Whoops, got it upside down. But yeah, looks very similar to the Snom M9 base unit, but it doesn't look bad. It looks like it's made to mount on the wall. And the reason I say that is because in the back here, I can hold this thing and turn it at the same time. You'll notice the mounts, you slide it sideways to mount it. You got two on the right side there. Alright, so we'll flip this around again and lay it down there. It sets up pretty nice. Pulled it in, it took about a minute and 3/4 to boot up. And what you do is you just, since it's an IPv6 device, you can just type in, you don't have to look what the IP address is, you can just type in the IPv6. So you type in that whole string, the last 4 digits are the MAC address, the last digit is the MAC address. So no hunting for IPs, pretty straightforward. Wait a minute and 3/4, it's booted up, and if you go on your browser, type in your IPv6, you will be able to log in. Default password is admin, and we can log in here. If everything goes good, that should, oops, probably waited too long before I logged in. And we log in. There it is. Go and see the, go to admin status. We can see the graph of how hard the CPU is used. Now in a PC, you're not going to hit this real easy. This unit is a smaller unit, so you might catch that a little sooner. But that's a little bit how the user interface looks. It's very, very similar to the Snom 1 soft PBX that you can run on Windows, Mac, or Linux. Of course, they have one more thing. Since you need to manage the system, you might have to go in here and go into the IP setup. Currently it's set to DHCP, but you can change that. Type some information in and get PCAPs, that type of thing. I did not see a way to set the times. You might have to drop into the Linux command prompt to do that, but I didn't look real hard either. So, all right. Okay, so taking a look at the unit itself, you're going to see some LEDs there. I did not register a phone yet. Expect it to be quite simple, but you have a power which comes on as soon as you power it, and when you plug in the network, that comes on. I did not see any LED that lets you know when the unit is powered up. For an administrator, that might be nice. For the rest, no one really cares, I doubt. Okay, looking at it on this side, I want to get this thing so that it is not too dark. If we can see it there, yeah. Okay, so going from the left to right, you see the reset switch, the power cord plug, and then a PoE, power over Ethernet, 1 gigabit Ethernet plug there. And so you can just plug it into your PoE switch just like your phones, and it powers it. Then next there we have, you can see some LEDs through the slots, but there is what looks like telephone jack shaped slots. So we could be a little presumptuous and think that maybe in the future we'll see a FXO. It would be really neat if this unit had 2 FXO ports and 1 FXS. If you see the slots, so there's right beside Ethernet, there's 2, and then there's a USB 2.0, and I think that's to store maybe backups. I'm not sure, I didn't check into that either, but I think so. And then another square jack that could easily be like to plug in an analog device. On the back side, I think we looked at that before. So you could set the unit like this on your data rack. You kind of miss out on these LEDs, but if this is a small office like this thing's meant for a doctor's office, you just put it on the wall, perfectly quiet little device. All right, and there you go. Low price, low power. Plug it into your PoE. Don't have a lot of jacks, cables running out of it. Another thing, in small PBX, is not uncommon to have a jack for music on hold and a jack for the PA, one PA system. This does not have that. What you need to depend on is music on hold file or the snom PA1 to break out to your PA system. So, all right, the snom Mini looks interesting. Looks like an interesting device. It's for that really low cost small office that doesn't need more than 20 extensions. snom 1 Mini.